You're watching 11 Alive Morning News. 11 minutes of nonstop news starts now.
First this morning, an Atlanta child went to school yesterday but never made it home. What we know about the search to find him.
And Vice President Kamala Harris making her way to Atlanta today. The important message she'll bring to Georgia Tech's campus.
And we're starting off on the mild side, even though we'll have mostly cloudy skies for today. We're going to see those temperatures going all the way up. Now, let's see how warm it's going to be this afternoon and the full forecast straight ahead.
First this morning, right now, a mother is hoping that you can help bring her son home safely.
Her son is just 12 years old. He went to school but never made it home. And now Atlanta Public Schools is part of the search. Molly Oak is following the latest.
And we want to get straight to the picture of that boy. Take a look at your screen. This is Janari Morrison. According to Atlanta police, Morrison boarded his bus at Young Middle School yesterday. He was heading home. Police say his mother last heard about her son when a teacher called saying he got in trouble and was told to leave class. However, Atlanta Public Schools says that's not what happened. It says the student wasn't asked to leave and reports Morrison finished the school day and got on the bus to go home like any other day. We're working to learn the details of just what happened and what led up to Morrison going missing. Regardless, if you have any information, give police a call. You can also find all of those details and that picture of Morrison on our website, 11alive.com.
Molly, thank you so much. Continuing your 11 minutes of nonstop news with details on a high-profile visit from Vice President Kamala Harris.
She'll be in Atlanta today, bringing a big message along. Ariana Maniz has more on what she'll talk about.
Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to build on President Biden's State of the Union remarks as her trip comes a day after he addressed the nation. The vice president's trip is part of the Biden administration's push to tout legislative accomplishments to Americans. Now, during her visit to Atlanta today, she'll visit Georgia Tech to discuss ways the White House is combating the climate crisis, an issue Biden touched on last night, where he said it's our obligation to confront it. Harris joins other top White House officials, including President Biden, who will travel across the nation this week to highlight the president's economic agenda. President Biden's senior advisor, Mitch Landrieu, says Georgia is right in the middle of the president's vision for building a better America. Now, Vice President Kamala Harris is expected to touch down right here in Georgia later on this morning, and we'll bring you the latest on air as well as online. Back to you.
Ariana, thank you. This morning, LaGrange police, they are searching for several shooting suspects after a 15-year-old was gunned down outside of a grocery store. This all happened near Whitesville Road. Police say the 15-year-old who was shot Saturday night and died Tuesday. The GBI has now stepped in to help with the investigation. If you have any information, please call the Troup County Crime Stoppers line.
Right now, city school districts are partnering with the local law enforcement and state leaders to stop gang recruitment in schools. We're told gangs are targeting children with unstable homes. Governor Kemp is pushing for a bill that would increase mandatory penalties for anyone recruiting gang members.
Happening today, advocates say there needs to be an end to the case surrounding the infamous Atlanta Public Schools cheating scandal. They're holding a press conference ahead of a hearing tomorrow for 6 of the former educators involved. Hundreds of teachers and administrators were accused of changing students' standardized test answers to the correct response. 6 educators are appealing convictions. Groups like the NAACP and the Southern Center for Human Rights are calling for teachers to be spared from probation and prison. That was a look at your top headlines.
All right, pretty mild start to the day, Chesley.
Yes, it is. Temperatures are in the 50s in a lot of spots, and we have a few sprinkles out there, mainly just to the north and west of the city. Right along I-75 here, headed up to the north, we do have a few light showers, and I mean very, very light. I haven't really seen a whole lot of reports of this as of yet reaching the ground, but I'm sure in some spots it is, like over towards Somerville. Haven't seen much in Rome. In fact, you're dry right now. You do have the clouds in place, and then heading a little bit further down to the south, northern parts of Cobb County, right over here toward the Ackworth area, may have a few sprinkles there. That's about it. Most of this heading up to the north, some of that breaking up, so it may not even make it to your Carter K, but we'll watch it, Tate. Also over toward Canton as well, you may get a sprinkle or two. For the most part, you're just going to see the clouds today. We'll hold on to a 20% chance for an isolated shower, but clouds will be the case for much of the day. Looking at 65 degrees by noon, on our way to 71 for an afternoon high. We'll drop back down to 64 degrees by 7 o'clock under mostly cloudy skies. Widespread rain back off to the west of us. Following a front is making its way down to the south. Right now, that front is stationary. Get little waves riding along that, like an area of low pressure. Keeps the rain in the forecast very wet up into Arkansas right now. This front will head toward us and will increase our chance of rain starting tomorrow. In fact, I think by tomorrow morning, we'll have a little bit more in the way of widespread widespread rain. Now, we're not going to see much in the way of severe weather. That severe weather threat is off to the west of us today. Level 2 threat indicated by that yellow from Memphis down through New Orleans. That's a level 2. That's a slight chance for severe weather. Surrounding that is the dark green shade, which is level 1, or a marginal risk that extends over into Birmingham, but not making it over toward us today. Tomorrow, notice what happens. The system starts to weaken. In fact, the severe weather threat will be down to the south, a level 1 threat in the southern portions of our state. That light green shade is a 0 out of a possible 5, or just a general threat for thunderstorms for us. You may get a clap of thunder or two. For the most part, though, we'll just see some scattered showers. Here's how it plays out. Forecast track model shows the clouds staying in place today. Maybe a few slivers of sunshine. That'll be it. Here comes that rain. By tomorrow morning, it'll be on top of us. Yeah, during the rush hour, you're looking at some light to moderate rain coming down, a little bit more widespread, but will turn more scattered once we head toward the afternoon. So it stays off and on through the rest of the day on Thursday. In fact, by Friday, notice the clouds still in place, the rain still in place. That front will stall maybe just to the south of us, maybe just on top of us, and a little ways right along that. So we'll keep the threat for the rain in the forecast at least through Friday early afternoon. Late we'll begin to at least try to dry it out. Models now hinting that the showers could stick around right on through the weekend. I think these percentages will adjust just a little bit as we get a little closer. We're able to fine tune it for you, but right now there will be a cool down as we head toward the weekend, but there could be some precipitation involved as well. Certainly we'll clear it out by the time we head into next week with 10s on the wazometer and temperatures back into the 60s.
You are taking a live look from Turkey this morning, where rescue crews, they continue their efforts following a devastating earthquake there. As of about an hour ago, the crews updated the number of people dead now to 11,000. That went up by 2,000 just since we came on air. Many are still holding out hope, though, that rescuers will find survivors. It's stories like this that are just helping people keep the hope alive. Rescuers in Syria pulled 2 children from the rubble after they were trapped for more than 24 hours. The U.S. is sending in first responders specialized in search and rescue to help with this massive effort. We do have more on how you can help from afar through donations right now on 11alive.com. Right now, there is a lot of movement among Georgia's General Assembly on issues that will affect you.
It includes lawmakers wanting to get rid of college degree requirements for some specific jobs. This bill would stop the state government from requiring a 4-year college degree unless it's absolutely necessary. It would also lower other educational requirements. It's headed to the full state Senate. One state senator is leading a new effort to make sure black hair is not discriminated against. Senator Anderson says she hopes the bill can bring more equity to Georgia's workforce by banning discrimination against black people and their natural hairstyles. That bill died during last year's session. From food and clothing to mental health support, Fulton County Schools wants to make it easier to connect students and their families with the things that they need to succeed. Today is the relaunch of a Safe Center at Banneker High School. It initially opened in 2018, then was redesigned. Dozens of organizations like Gooder, the Atlanta Community Food Bank, and United Way are making it happen. There's also a center at Tri-Cities. Another will open at North Springs High School.
Today is Sickle Cell Day at the Georgia Capitol. It is a day centered around educating people about a disease that impacts up to 100,000 people in the United States. Sickle cell causes normally round red blood cells to harden, and that leads to severe pain and other health complications. Georgia has the 4th most sickle cell patients in the U.S., according to the CDC. The disease is most common among black people, and today, the Sickle Cell Foundation of Georgia is calling on the state to provide more money to support these patients. You can show solidarity today by wearing a pop of red. Good morning, Chesley.
Good morning. We are looking at temperature by noon. Well, up into the 60s, right around 65 degrees. So you know that temperature is going up. Now, despite the fact that we'll have mostly cloudy skies, we're going to see a high temperature today around 71 degrees. Only a small threat for an isolated shower or two. Not worried about that too much. By 6, you're looking at cloudy skies, temperatures right around 65. We'll be dropping back off into the 50s tonight. Of course, we'll have that rain tomorrow, 67 degrees for the high temperature with a 60% chance for some scattered showers. I think it will be widespread during your morning commute tomorrow. Looks like the rain threat is going to stick around the forecast right on through the weekend. We'll be adjusting these as we get a little closer, as an area of low pressure could be threatening our area.
Oh, interesting timing there.
Yeah.
That's a nice way to say it. Hiccup?
Yeah.
Instead of like, oh, the traffic.
Right. Big claw.
Today's show is next. Have a great day, everybody. We'll see you back here tomorrow morning.